morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming in from. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're at the daily antidote of song. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming in from. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're at the daily antidote of song. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming in from. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're at 857 days strong. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. 857 days strong. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. It's a lot of syllables. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, friends. Oh, welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. It is so wonderful to be together this morning, this afternoon, this evening. Maybe the middle of the night. I'm not sure. There could be some middle of the nighters here today. So good to be together. And my name is Wendy Luella Perkins, and I am your host today. And it is my first time hosting, so I need a little extra love. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it here for a sec. Oh, I got a little extra love and encouragement and support today. And if I'm missing something, it's not because I'm meaning to. Just know that. And but it is a pleasure to be here today, and a pleasure to welcome Barbara McAfee today. We're going to get to know Barbara a little bit more. Maybe you already have heard her before, the Daily Antidote. But just before we do, we have a beautiful tradition here, which is to welcome everyone that is here. And we already improvised a song, so why don't we use the tune that we already made up today? But I'm going to invite you to add a little rhythm section where you are. So that rhythm section could be some snaps. It could be some claps. It could be some thumps. It could be some, you get the point. It could be some shakes. You might have a shaker. You could have a little, you just feel the rhythm. So, I welcome Jaden, our miraculous tech. I welcome Barbara, it's a new tune already. I welcome Becky and Claire and Storm. I welcome Jenny from Suffolk, UK. I welcome Sheila in Florida, Harriet in Illinois, Kathy in Virginia, and Nancy, a beautiful cow. Oh, the curly tops of 1, 2, 3, and somebody rainy with 857 days. Hello, Susan and Bonnie and Ione in Michigan, Luda in Victoria, BC. Oh, Arlene Baxter in Beverly, California, and Jamie in Victoria, BC. A couple from BC. We got Ruth Marie and Nancy and Susan Miller, Martha and Dan and Ann and Cricket. I gotta go to a new page and find there's Martha and Dan and Ann. I know Ann in Nashville. There's Cricket and Aloysius and Kathy and Arfo. There is Tim and Annette and Ann in Maryland. There are Lynn and Cliff in Vermont and Kate in Charlottesville, Kevin in DC and Elizabeth in Kingston. There's Gary and Dally and Kate wandering the East Coast. There's Bronwyn, another person from Victoria, BC. There's LMG and Lorianne, Kachina and Courtney, beautiful Vermont, and Sandy in Western North Carolina. I think NC is North Carolina. Is that true? Maybe I'm missing something out. Then there's Caroline in DC and Ruth and Jojo, Willa, and Nico on the road. There's Sarah and Ralph, also in Victoria, and Fred Stolinitz. I'm not sure where Fred is. That's everyone just now. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Daily Antidote song. So good to see you. Morning, noon or night, or maybe it's 11 or 1 where you are. Welcome, everyone. Oh, it's so fun to say all those names, and welcome each and every one of you. And I just invite everyone right now to take a look. And also, I understand that there might be some people with us on Facebook Live that we're not seeing in the screen. So I learned this. Give a little shout out to those people on Facebook Live. Woo! Welcome aboard. And you know what? Even Facebook not live. You know, later, maybe tomorrow or in 2 weeks, or maybe you're going to come back to this. Somebody here is going to come back to this video and know that we're thinking of you in the future. That's a little trippy, but you know, we are thinking of the folks that are also listening and singing along tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, another time. And that's what a wonderful resource the Daily Antidote of Song Facebook page is to return to for songs for strength, songs for connection, and to be part of that community, this community together. So I want to say also just a big shout out to Carpe Diem Arts, to Joe for conceptualizing this idea, for being 857 days in, which is blowing my mind, with a whole bunch of gratitude. And everyone along the way that has made this happen. You know, if you didn't show up, this would have ended at day 100 or day 257 or day 578. But the fact that you keep coming back, that people keep coming back day after day after day, literally, in community, makes this possible. No one would be doing this all by themselves. There's just no way it would happen. It happens because we show up for each other. We show up for ourselves and one another. And what a gift that is. What a gift. Speaking of gifts, it is my very, very, very big pleasure to introduce our guest musician today. And our guest musician today is Barbara McAfee. Barbara McAfee. Some say McAfee, but that would be wrong. It's McAfee, like as in MacBook. No, I don't want to, like Macintosh. Like Macintosh, like the apple. Found in Ontario, actually. That's where I am this morning, in Kingston, Ontario. Not far from here, the Macintosh was discovered, that delicious apple. So Barbara, I invite you to unmute yourself here and invite us into the circle of song from where you are in Wisconsin. Welcome aboard.
So honored to be here again. 857, that's just a huge, 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 huge number. Here's our little song for the day. Jump in as you're able. I wish you courage for the next step and the next. I wish you peace in the middle of the storm. I wish you unexpected joy, strength to see you through, and a heart wide open to all the love surrounding you. It's surrounding you. That's it. Jump on in. I wish you courage for the next step and the next. I wish you peace in the middle of the storm. I wish you unexpected we talk and then we do it again. If you aren't already thinking about somebody or somebodies, get busy with that. Wave your hand around if you're thinking about particular people that you want to send this song to. I'm sending it to Nancy and Bob and Roxy and Lori and Michelle and blah, 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 blah. There's so many people who are up to their hips in a whole lot of difficult things right now, individually, and then all of us are going through some amazing times collectively. So I know song travels and finds its destination. So send it from your beautiful hearts. Appreciate all the hearts. And their shoulders may relax a little and their breath may deepen just because we sang for them. So get busy.
I wish you courage for the next step and the next. I wish you peace in the middle of the storm. I wish you unexpected joy, strength to see you through, and a heart wide open to all the love surrounding you. It's surrounding you. We are surrounding you.
Oh, what a beautiful and powerful song, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for inviting us to imagine some folks we're sending it to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd love to know how that song came to you, how it emerged for you. How did that song come?
Well, it's a good story. It's a really good story. I was reading an email from a friend. Yeah, and keep coming in with the people you're sending it to, so we'll accumulate a big bunch of destinations, and then we'll send it through the Songiverse to go find those people. I was reading an email from a friend of mine who was asking for support for her daughter. This story has a happy ending, FYI. But her daughter had just given birth to her first child and was fighting for her life in the ICU with a necrotic pancreas. Those words should never be in the same sentence. A necrotic pancreas. Ugh. I don't even know what it is, but it's awful. And instead of snuggling her new baby. And so when I read this, my heart just went cracked wide open, and the first lines of the song started unspooling. Sometimes when I write a song, I have to kind of, as Mary Oliver says, like drag it out of the dark. But this one just kind of started unspooling. I ran to the piano, wrote it down, and then I went to my little comfort choir practice. I have a little group called the Morning Star Singers that is going to be 15 years old in a couple of weeks. We've been singing for people in hospital, hospice, depressed, bereaved. We've sung for pets. We've sung a lot in the way we're singing today because of COVID, just sending songs at a distance or a couple of us getting on the phone. And we've sung for each other and walked each other through lots of things. So anyway, I brought the song to them, and it has become one of our, go-to songs. We recorded it on our CD a bunch of years ago. And then quite a few years after I wrote it, I was watching a film about a friend of mine, Jack Heckelman, who was in the middle of having a conscious death. He had untreatable cancer at 81, and he's like, I'm going to have a conscious death, and why don't we make a movie so other people can learn from me? And I was like, that is so Jack. And as I'm watching the rough cut of that movie, he says this thing that I completely forgot that he said during his whole dying process, which was, every day brings some unexpected joy. And today you are that joy for me. And I just went, what? So my story is my friend Jack dictated that song from the other world because he'd been long dead. Because unexpected joy is not a phrase that shows up very often. So the story is that it came from
this story and then actually Jack. And I did not give Jaden this resource because I didn't know I was going to tell that part of the story. But there is the film about Jack's amazing process of conscious dying is called The Most Excellent Dying of Theodore Jack Heckelman, Heckelman. And it's available on YouTube now. So if you just look for The Most Excellent Dying of Theodore Jack Heckelman, you'll see my beautiful friend giving us his generous gift of walking alongside his dying time. So that's where it came from.
Thank you for giving us that gift of that story, Barbara. You know, sometimes we sing a song and we don't know the origin of the song, and it has its own meaning to us because it's made its way in our heart. And then sometimes then you hear the story of how it was created, and it deepens the meaning of the song, right? It can really deepen the meaning of the song when we sing it. So lifting up your friend Jack.
Yeah.
What a
guy.
Oh, and thank you. I see Jaden, who is amazing, has just put the link up.
Thank you, Jaden.
Yeah. And this, I'm really interested in this. Your Morning Stars singers as well, and that whole process as well. But so can you say a little bit more about that group that's 15 years strong?
Yes. I can't even conceive of that. I came to this. I mean, I had met Kate Munger. I'm sure has been here a number of times, and is kind of the grandmother of this kind of reviving this kind of singing, really around the world. But before I met Kate, I just had a lot of people in my community dying, and so I remember in the hospital room with Paul, who is floating between the worlds at 52, and somebody turned to me and said, "Barbara, do you have a song?" And I was like, I damn well better have a song, you know? And so I pulled something out and we sang, I think it was Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And then from then on, we just sang a bunch. His then 15-year-old daughter was in the room with us and his wife, and we just sang and sang and sang and sang. And then that gave her the strength to let her dad go. And then when she died a couple years later in a car accident, we sang our way through that. And then, you know, there was just all these things that happened in our community, and we just sang our way through. And we'd sing the song that we sang last time, remembering, well, we got through that. So this thing that feels impossible, we're going to get through this too. And the next impossible thing, we'll sing our way through that too. And the songs just felt like they were our partners as we walked through these impossible griefs together. And the singing helped. The singing helped metabolize the grief, remind us that we were together. And so I just knew that singing helped because of my experience in my community. And I said, one of these days when I'm done, you know, flying around, speaking at conferences or singing concerts or teaching voice workshops, one of these days I'm going to start a little comfort choir. Mm-hmm. And then I just said, to heck with it. I'm not going to wait till I have time because I'll be dead. So I just put out, I've been leading singing for a long time in my community, so I'm known as a song leader. And so I just put the call out. A bunch of us met in a park, and that was that. People have come in. We have a long list of people waiting to get in because we're not open to new members during COVID because we're either meeting outdoors or on Zoom, depending on the weather up here in the far north. And we aren't going out much to sing for people anymore. We used to sing at a long-term acute care hospital a couple times a month, and then just on call. People would just call up and say, "Can somebody come and sing for my uncle or for me or whatever?" And then a small group of people would go, usually 4 or 5. They were always the right people, and sing at the bedside. And songs from many traditions and songs that are deeper than particular spiritual traditions. And
There's
So
it's
it's just
amazing
been
how a
beautiful.
song can be a true companion, right? It can companion us through difficult times. It can companion us through joyful times, help us to access joy, experience that unexpected joy. It can take us through things that we don't think we can go through. And as you say, singing in community, even if there's 4 or 5 people, even if it's a small group, sometimes even a small group can be more powerful sometimes, that you can feel the energy. I'm just curious of folks here that are gathered with us today, and if you have ever been part of a comfort choir, if you sing in a threshold choir, or if you're singing and curious about just our own community here. So if you are, just type it in so we know. We have a couple people here, yeah, that have. Um, mhm. What else is floating your boat these days? Like what else? Yeah, what is giving you uplift? Because I mean, there's a lot of things there's a downdraft. There are a lot of downdrafts right now, would you say? But I mean, and that's not to avoid that, but I'm wondering what is uplifting your spirit? What is floating your boat these days,
Oh,
Barbara?
you're so clever. Um, I literally started my day down by the river. I live on the wild and scenic St. Croix River, which is the river of my childhood. And after 40 years in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the city, that river said, "You come home." And I was like, this is in October 2020. So up I go. I was very happy where I was living. Bought a little house where I am now, and moved out to this town of 2,100 people. And so this morning, last night yesterday I had a wild notion and went and camped overnight down by the river in this beautiful part. You can't see a building. It's very, very quiet. There's a little road that goes by, so you hear cars now and then. But anyway, I went for a long kayak. So literally what's floating my boat is my boat. Went for kayak last night. I ran into a singing friend. I saw one person and it was a singing friend. And we had a nice chat and had a little sing. And then I started my day this morning. I listened to music all night. I listened to barred owls calling and beaver tails slapping. And this morning I heard the eagles doing their bald eagles up in the trees. And but I started my day falling into the water before I was awake, and then went and had my little thermos of coffee out on the water. So to me, nature, just spending hours a day at the beginning of the day, usually hiking, usually jumping in the river, seeing black bear and fisher, and it is the solace to be in the non-human story every morning. Really helps. And then of course singing really helps.
Yeah, there's nothing like being among other beings that aren't humans, and noticing all those other beings, the plant species, the animal species, all the sounds, the smells, the sights, that it's like puts that in that state of, yeah, connection and great kind of grace
Yes.
and receptivity.
And also and like we are not as important as we think we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we are, but we're not.
Yeah, the perspective kind of
Yeah.
drops down deep, and we kind of, oh yeah, that humbleness, that humility, and also I'm big and I'm little at the same time.
Exactly. And it's a privilege to be a human being. It's just a privilege to be on this tiny little blue dot in the vast ocean of blackness, sentient most days. Also, totally, other days, but moment to moment it changes. But some of the ancestors I hang out with here are 1.1 billion year old stones. This whole valley was just carved by glacial melt and runoff. So there's these 1.1 billion year old stones that just got basalt, volcanic rock, that just got carved open by the melting glaciers. And it's like, that's really humbling.
Mm.
I always I've been learning
some of the beings that I encounter on these hikes in the morning, I've been learning the names for them in Ojibwe, which is one of the indigenous peoples that populated. There's been 3 tribes that we know of. One that doesn't have a name that we know, and then the Dakota people and the Ojibwe people or Anishinaabe people. And so I've been learning to speak the names of the stones and the eagles and
Beautiful. What a like they have the phrase the touchstone, that the thing that is anchoring, the things that really bring us back to what's real, bring us back to what's deeply important, and how beautiful that those stones are that. And also the learning part of learning the way the languages of the indigenous peoples in your area. Before we do one more, we're going to revisit that song so that it might anchor into our hearts. It might be a touchstone for us, that song. Before we do that, though, I want to ask you one more question, Barbara, which is, like, musically, I know, because I know myself, like, I've been leading song circles for over 20 years this fall. And then it's like there's something beautiful in doing something for a long time. And then musically, how it can be beautiful to start new things, to kind of go, I'm going to do a new musical thing. Is there any new musical thing that you're doing that you want to share with us that you want other people to know about?
Yes, well, I'm always cooking up some things because I'm at my soul an artist. So I have been a business person, which is kind of hilarious, but it informs a lot what I do, because most of what I do is I help people find their voice, whatever that means to them. So in singing, in speaking, in healing from trauma, in getting what's inside of you out, getting your gifts into the world. And I stumbled onto this approach that uses the elements of earth, fire, water, metal, and air to isolate and exaggerate these particular human vocal qualities. And then there's correlations between our gifts, like earth. Generally, people who talk down here are pretty calm and grounded in the middle of the storm, to quote the song. Anyway, so I made this approach. I teach it. I wrote a book about it. I did a TED Talk about it. And so it's not new, but it's there's a new class that I'm starting. It's always new. I'm starting a new class next month in the fall sessions, little online classes called Full Voice Fundamentals, and it is really fun to help people discover the parts of their voices and themselves that have been sort of exiled because of fill in the blank, culture, oppression, trauma, patriarchy, racism, blah 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 blah, blah sexism, blah blah blah. So that's a new thing, a new session. I have been teaching groups all summer, so it'll be fun to learn from the new crew. And then the other new thing that I've been doing is writing songs with people, like a little power song. And so I just have done it with my individual voice clients for years, and I thought, well, what would happen if we just did that? So it's kind of like throwing yourself off a cliff, It's like, yeah, we're going to write a song in 2 one-hour sessions based on what you need to call into your life. And I've done a handful of them now, and it's always amazing and remarkable. So that is a new adventure, and so far, knock wood, so far the muses have been kind, and people are getting the songs that they need to carry them into a new part of their life, or a new adventure, or to do healing or whatever. So that's been my newest little product. And then I'm going to go on tour again, which is a little tiny tour. I'm going to Traverse City, Michigan to sing at a college, and then I'm going to Decorah, Iowa, and Viroqua, Wisconsin to do some teaching and performing and song leading.
Amazing. I it's like with a song, the supporting people to write their power songs. It's like you're like a song midwife almost.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny. I often describe myself as a midwife for voices.
Okay.
Yeah, that's often, and people go like, what you're a midwife? What, a birth? It's like, yeah, no, I've helped people get ready to give birth too using their voice.
Amazing.
But no, I do think it's not my voice. It's your baby, but I can help get that
Help,
into the world,
help
whether
you
it's
bring it in the world.
your more full voice or your song or whatever. Yeah.
Beautiful. So beautiful. And I know that Jaden is going to be putting, if she hasn't already recently, putting the stuff in your
Yeah.
website there, which I think would probably have a lot of the information that you just shared with us. So if anybody is interested in following up with Barbara about what some of those beautiful offerings are. Wow.
Yeah.
I am so glad you're in the world, Barbara. And I'm so glad you have introduced this new song to me and to all of us, maybe. And maybe some of you have heard it before, but can you offer it up again one more time so we can be part of singing it? And also, if especially as you the invitation you made earlier of calling into our hearts and minds, our spirits, the folks and situations that we want to send this powerful message to, this message of comfort, of companionship, of unexpected joy, of you're making it through. You are
Yeah.
making it through. So passing it back over to you, Barbara, to
I'd be delighted to do that. And I also, oh, here goes my neighbor. One of the downsides of my lovely place that I live is that I live on a steep hill, and there's a lot of dudes who have been culturally denied the privilege of singing and dancing, and so the only way they can express themselves is through their loud trucks. And I wrote a song about that too, but I'm not going to do that one right now. Um, so I just want to say that one of the gifts of this, one of the things the song has taught me, like I write things and then I learn what they have to say. But I think whenever facing calamity of some kind, collectively or individually, I think when I imagine what's coming, I always think about like it's just going to be unrelieved suffering. And there are moments of that. But I think what I forget is that even in the midst of the most difficult times and places, there are these little flashes of joy. When I was helping my mama die, when we just get the giggles, we just, when she was still conscious, we would just we'd get tickled about something, or we'd have that beautiful conversation, or we'd sing some old hymn. And so I think for me, as I face whatever is coming, to remember that it's not just unrelieved suffering, that there are the possibility of joy is available in lots of different places. So I will stop preaching and start singing, or keep preaching in the form of song, whatever. I wish you courage for the next step and the next. I wish you peace in the middle of the storm. Unexpected joy, strength to see you through, and a heart wide open to all the love surrounding you. It's surrounding you. I wish you courage for the next step and the next. I wish you peace in the middle of the storm.
sending so much love to you, Barbara, and so much gratitude for what you've shared with us today and opening up our hearts wide and connecting to the bigger hearts that we are connected with today. Oh my goodness. I could get used to this hosting thing. I love this. This is fun.
You're great at it. You're great at it.
You know, I had a dream once, you know, when I was young that I live in Canada and I was born in Nova Scotia, to be a CBC radio host. I thought, yes, I would love to be in radio, but I took a different journey. I'm a Unitarian Universalist minister and a community singer, but maybe the fourth stage, the fifth stage, the sixth stage, I'll be a CBC radio host, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
I love that. I moved to Canada for that.
Well, friends, I just want to say before we say goodbye, if you are new here, if this is your first time at the Daily Antidote of Song, I want to say that while we have a regular pattern, if you come each and every day or whenever you can, you're going to find different songs, different kinds of songwriters, different hosts, and that I just encourage you to come back, because if you come a few times, you realize, wow, this is a smorgasbord of beautiful, amazing, inspiring, uplifting, thought-provoking music that is that good companions to have. So if you're here for the first time, please come again. If you're here for many times, we love seeing you every time, so keep on coming back. And if you're here for the first time and you want to introduce yourself, just invite you to type your name in the chat and maybe where you're located this morning, so we know to give you a special welcome and to warmly invite you into this community. Invite your friends. You know what? The Daily Antidote, like I said earlier, happens because people keep coming back. And if you found something meaningful here, I betcha that someone you know would also find something rich and delicious and nourishing and uplifting here. So don't hesitate to invite a friend. And then you can have a date. You say, I'll go with you. We'll come in. We'll join exactly at 12 o'clock. So we'll pop up on the screen at the same time, or wherever the time zone is where you are. But invite your friends, family, colleagues to come and join in, because boy, this makes a difference to a day, doesn't it? And I'm going to say, let's shower Barbara with some more love in whatever way that makes sense. And also shower Jaden with love. I don't see Jaden on the screen right now, but I want to find Jaden, because honestly, so smoothly done, and all the way from Delaware today. And it wouldn't happen without the support, in the front folks and the folks behind the scenes to make this happen. Again, really lifting up Carpe Diem Arts. And if there's anything else going on in your community that you want to share, this is the place. This is the place to write in the chat. Oh, there's something happening. Oh, come on over to this. For example, you guys have been singing for 857 days straight. Today is day 880 that I have offered soulful singing, the singing meditation practice that I lead every single day since March 20th, 2020. And there's a few soulful singers here. You're very welcome to come on board. I will put my email address in the chat right now. And if you want to get more information, then you can just send me an email and I'll send you the links. It's a wonderful... Is that my email? I think it is. It's a wonderful deepening practice, and yeah, it's a great thing to do. Look at all, and also other things coming up in there. Take a look at your chat right now. But we're going to say goodbye. It's hard to say goodbye. It is, isn't it? You know, it's like did you ever have a partner there when you're maybe 15 and you'd be on the phone together and you're like, okay, bye. Oh no, you say bye first. No, you say bye. No, I don't want to hang up yet. So then you might be feeling that. If you're feeling that, it's okay. We're all feeling it together. And I'm going to say, so long, friends. Thank you for the daily antidote of song. Thank you, friends. We'll sing with you tomorrow if you come along. Bye, friends. So much love. So much love.